Okay, well, good morning for real this time, and I want to welcome everyone to the graduation ceremony for recruit class 2021-2. I'm just going to ask you to please stand while we welcome them as they come out. Okay, please remain standing for the presentation of the colors of the Boston EMS Honor Guard. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will Deputy Superintendent Lynn Shubatowski please come to the podium for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's bright glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Right, face, forward, march, left, 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 right, right, left, left, left,
Okay, thank you. Please be seated. And thank you, Deputy Shubatelsky. Doing a nice job. That takes guts. And a little bit of talent, right? Well, hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for our recruit class 2021-2. I want to thank you all for being here today as we honor these 30 recruits who are making an important transition from EMT recruit to Boston EMS emergency medical technician. Today's only the second time in the last 3 years that we've been able to do this in person together as a group, as a collective. Last August, we were able to do it with Mayor Janney. A couple of classes before that, we reluctantly, during some of the worst phases of COVID, we did an online video graduation from the classroom, which was probably not that much fun for the attendees and the families. And one time we were able to do it outdoors at a soccer field over in East Boston, where we still had it restricted to how many people we could even have over there. So we're coming a long way, but it's the world and the reality that we're adapting to, and we do adapt. And so thank you all for being here today. We're very fortunate today to be joined by our Mayor, Michelle Wu, by our Executive Director, Dr. Basola Ojikudu, and also BPPA EMS Division Vice President James McCabe. Thank you, Chief. Our Medical Director, Sophia Dyer, and let me see, I don't want to miss, and of course, BFD Commissioner Jack Dempsey, who's been a terrific ally and friend, as everyone has in the Boston Fire Department all these many years. And coming through, especially these difficult times the last few years, when there's been so much stress placed on all of our departments and all of our city departments, really, particularly those of us that work in public health and/or public safety. Councilor Baker, Councilor Aaron Murphy, thank you so much as well for being here. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but we'll try to fix that as we come along. I especially want to recognize the families and the friends of the graduates sitting in the audience. Thank you all for your support throughout this academy, today and for the days to come. This is challenging work. Your friendship, love, will lend strength and resilience. And I'm sure over the last 6 months, you were a shoulder to lean on sometimes, or you heard some funny stories. You might have heard some scary stories, and maybe you had to convince them, hey, get back up and get in there, if they were having some self-doubts. So thank you for being an ally for us and to getting everybody else here. And but also I want to recognize our academy staff who's here today, the training captains, the lead FTOs, many of the FTOs who have served along with them in the field, and who have done so much to get you to where you are today. I also want to acknowledge that your replacements, because guess what? Pretty soon you're all going to have seniority, because the next recruit class is sitting over here. We started 2 weeks ago. All right, so they're sitting over here observing this, and hopefully you're going to inspire them. All right. So these recruits here that are seated here today started their employment with us 6 months ago. They were state certified EMTs the day they walked in the door, and some of them already had some experience as EMTs. A few of them had some experience in the medical field, working in hospitals or emergency rooms. But they had one thing in common. They all wanted to work for the best. They all wanted to give back to their communities, and they all wanted to challenge themselves and to help people. So many of them said that in their interviews and during the process all the time. Their academy began with 17 weeks in the classroom, learning additional skills, departmental protocols, honing the expertise in the practice of pre-hospital medicine. And from there, they rode in ambulances observing, along with veteran EMTs, as they responded to calls, took care of patients, and transported them. They started practicing completing their electronic patient care reports, and then for the next 9 weeks in the 90 trucks, They were the crews. They were responding to 911 calls. They weren't handed any special calls. They got every call. For the last 3 months, these recruits were handling a variety of calls. 2 recruits joined by 1 experienced field training officer who served alongside them, who backstopped them, and were there, but really trying to just be there in case they needed help. During those assignments and those training ambulances, the men and women that you see seated over here have already responded to over 4,000 clinical incidents, caring and transporting for 3,276 patients. You've been busy. This volume of calls helps to ensure that you're exposed to a range of calls and that many of the skills become second nature to you. Before taking their oath here today, they've already responded to and addressed and cared for 1,434 patients with some sort of an illness, 347 individuals who are experiencing behavioral health or psychiatric emergencies. You've cared for 472 calls for persons with injuries, 62 overdoses, 329 respiratory incidents, 76 seizure patients, 12 major trauma calls, 36 strokes, 12 stabbing victims, and 7 persons who required care for gunshot wounds. So you've seen a lot. You'll see a lot more than some people might see in a career in other systems. And you've just done that in 3 months. And that really helps you to be prepared on top of everything you've learned. They've responded to calls across every neighborhood of Boston. They've worked at our vaccination clinics, and we've used them at special events as well. They've taken care of many COVID-19 patients. We've certainly come to rely on many of you who are proficient in second language. Well, many of you who maybe even English is your second language. But tactically, that's a great advantage for us in a lot of situations, and we're going to be leaning on that and for the next crew as well. They've learned that a call isn't always what it seems, that a seemingly minor illness or an injury that may have been the reason, a seemingly minor illness or a minor injury may have been the result of neglect, domestic violence, abuse, or somebody who's the victim of human trafficking, and that your suspicions on that can really make a difference in preventing things otherwise, and your reporting of that onto the medical teams and your care. And thank you for taking that role on. You've also seen patients who maybe start out not looking too ill, but they've can rapidly decline, and how to step up when that's required. And sometimes some patients who are so ill, or maybe at end of some chronic or terminal disease phase, when all you can really do is offer comfort and support to them and their families. So you've really experienced a lot, and we really welcome you into the fold. Each of you has already been on many calls that you made a direct impact on the people and their families, something you'll continue to do every day in this job. In your academy training, you also learn the importance of exercise, physical training, self-care, coming together, motivating each other, in both setting and achieving personal goals. Remember those tools that will serve you going forward. Thank you for choosing Boston EMS. This is a historic time to be working in healthcare and in public safety. This job will continue to challenge you. Please remember to take care of yourself and look out for one another. When you put on that badge today and each day going forward, I hope you remember the work that went into getting you here and why you chose EMS and what it means to the people you serve. I also hope that you will find the experience rewarding and choose Boston EMS not only as a place of employment, but as a career to continue learning, developing, advancing within the ranks. When you're done with the academy, the best advice I can give you is to never stop learning. Thank you and congratulations. this time it gives me great pleasure to introduce, for our first time at our graduation, our Executive Director, Ursula Ojikutu. Now, Dr. Ojikutu started in September, right? Okay. She started in September, which means day one, she's been drinking from a fire hose since she got here. With all these things, everyone knows about COVID, but everybody knows about the challenge we've seen with more and more patients with mental illness, with the strain on the health system, and as the Director of Public Health, she's got responsibilities in many areas of health, not just pre-hospital. But what has been terrific is how quickly she's been informed and listens to what the day-to-day plight is of all of us in our organization here. And we check in on a very regular basis through her staff, and she's quickly come to appreciate the work that you all do. So with that, please welcome Dr. Ojikutu.
Thank you, Chief Hooley, for your warm introduction and for your leadership. I also want to thank Dr. Dyer, Chief Dempsey, Counselor Baker, and Counselor Murphy for all of their support of the Boston Public Health Commission and Boston EMS. And thank you to Mayor Wu for joining us today and for her ongoing support. To the EMS recruits graduating today, congratulations. This is a major milestone. Please acknowledge it as such. Please congratulate yourself, enjoy yourself. This is a wonderful decision that you've made to serve the city of Boston. The people who work for the Boston Public Health Commission and Boston EMS are probably the most dedicated and passionate individuals I've ever worked with. And I know that this graduating class has the same passion and dedication and commitment. Personally, I want to share how impressed I am with the work that you do and the career choice that you have selected. So let's go back to when I was in medical school. I spent a week with 3 EMTs riding in the back of an ambulance. And I must say that was probably my hardest week in medical school. At the end, I was exhausted, I was overwhelmed. I also had intractable vertigo from riding backwards in the ambulance. But more than any of that, I was just impressed by not only the clinical care that was provided, but the advocacy and the education provided to people who were vulnerable. They were in their most vulnerable positions, and that is what the EMTs did. Your work is tough, it's critical, and trust me, it's greatly appreciated. This continues to be a very challenging time in our city. Boston EMS has served on the front lines of the city's response to COVID-19. I'm not even sure that people realize how much work that Boston EMS has actually done. They basically provided care to more than 8,000 COVID-19 positive patients to date. At the same time, they ran vaccination clinics, they did testing. They were really there, and they still are on the front lines, and they need to be congratulated and thanked, because we wouldn't be here in this room able to celebrate together without Boston EMS. So to the graduates, you will be the first responders when someone is in distress. You will be there for our most vulnerable patients in Boston, and you will provide the highest quality of care for everyone who needs you. You truly serve at the intersection between healthcare and public safety and public health. And as we continue to face many challenges, I'm just very grateful to have all of you as partners as we work to care for the residents of Boston. Thank you in advance for all the wonderful things I know you will do, and best of luck in your new career. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Ojikutu. And right now, it's a real pleasure for my next introduction. Ever since Mayor Wu was elected as Boston's mayor, there's been just a string of firsts, right? First woman elected, first woman of color elected, first Asian, first. The firsts go on, right? They keep running. But the most important thing today is this is our first Boston EMS Graduation. And we really do appreciate anytime we were able to get the mayor to be here. And we appreciate that sometimes things come up on their schedules that sometimes have prevented that. But we're very grateful that she was able to make the, not just make it here today, but to participate in it. Mayor Wu was a city councilor at large for several years before that, Rosendale resident, was somebody that I would even just see in the neighborhood, right, in Boston. And usually if you ran into her, it wasn't even talking about work. We were talking about kids, grandkids, playgrounds, things like that. And I always thought she was very nice. What I came to find out, certainly what the world has found is, one, just how capable, how smart, how dedicated she, and not just she, but her administration has been. She's brought an amazing team in that who are also very accomplished, very smart, data-driven. They look at investments, they look at results. But with all that in mind, they've been terrific for supporting us already. This year, we've been fortunate. We're going to get an investment of some new personnel. We're going to be able to increase the ranks of the department here. Thanks to the mayor, we've seen some significant investments in our capital budget, some major infrastructure improvements, which are continuing on, and some of the things that will be coming in the very near future as well too. So it's really a pleasure to welcome her here today, Mayor Michelle Wu.
Thank you so much, Chief Hooley, for being a key driving force within our team. Thank you to Superintendent Pearsall, Dr. Ojikutu, the entire EMS leadership, and all those in city government who have been here supporting, getting everyone to this moment. I want to thank Commissioner Dempsey, Councilors Baker and Murphy, who are already acknowledged, Councilor Bach, who has not been acknowledged, but who is here as well. Thank you. And most importantly, to this incredible graduating class. This is a special day for me to be here with you celebrating. Tomorrow, I believe, also marks my official 6-month mark in the job. So we launched together, we are here together, and don't worry, next time will be just as special when I celebrate, but this time's really, really special. It's also a special space to be in person. If you just look around this room, or even close your eyes and absorb what the feelings and spirit are of this room, history has been made here. And history is being made today, right now. That's true for so much of what we see across our city in Boston, that the legacy that we carry as Bostonians in 2022 is really built on centuries of our ancestors leading the way, stepping in difficult moments and showing that we were going to be there no matter what, to fight for what's right, to take care of all of our community members, and then to change the course of history. Today, you are stepping into a legacy of being among the first responder agencies that are the pride and gem of this country. Boston is home to so many firsts. And we are proud that that first is not only a chronological marker of the innovation and history that we represent, but first in so many areas of making sure we're taking care of our residents, as Dr. Ojikutu outlined, in tremendously difficult situations, of stepping in even before you've been officially graduated, as the chief mentioned, in the thousands of residents you've already supported, saved, and taken care of. This is a moment where we need you more than ever. We talk a lot these days in government about meeting people where they're at, right? That all of our policies and everything that we do really doesn't deliver the impact unless it actually connects
with our community members in the spaces that they live in and work in and play in. But the truth is that this idea of meeting people where they're at, you are the embodiment of that, and you have been since this agency was founded. Going into any space, any building, any room in Boston when you are called, and often finding people, usually in their most scared, their most desperate, their most needy versions of themselves. You bring the best of public service into those situations. What you do is remarkable. Delivering care, addressing urgent needs, but doing so in a way that takes care of all of that person as a human being and making them feel like you are there to support all of them. This is a moment where we've seen how important health is to everything that we do. And if there's any takeaway from the pandemic, it's that we have to do a better job as a society of keeping people healthy, getting them there from all the ways that we have resources, whether it's housing, affordability, or clear pathways to good jobs, connected transportation, schools that are exactly what our young people deserve. Health affects all of those pieces. And you all, in the legacy and the line of EMTs that you are joining today, have represented knowing that truth long before we all learned it through the COVID-19 pandemic. This is a moment where we really need you. We need you to build our city. We need you to connect our communities. We need you to set that foundation for our future as a city where everyone has what they need, a city where everyone belongs and everyone can live the fullest version of their lives, healthy, happy, connected, and wrapped around with community. And so I want to recognize that you all are not just coming in to support this community, you are community. You represent and are from our neighborhoods, our city, our communities. I have a partial list of neighborhoods that you're from, so I know we're missing a couple, but I'm shouting out Alston Brighton's in the house, Dorchester, West Roxbury, East Boston, South Boston, Hyde Park, Roxbury, Rosendale, Jamaica Plain. You bring not only your neighborhood roots and City of Boston resident hats, but you are meeting people where they're at with the languages that they speak as well. I know members of this class also speak Cape Verdean Creole, Portuguese, Somali, Spanish. Thank you for all that you already have done for our city. Thank you for your courage to answer the call, to step into this role, and for all the calls that you will take on. We are with you every step of the way. We're working to support all that our residents need so that the moments that you are stepping in are lightened and that the burden isn't on coming in at the very end. And so we're trying to build whole, healthy communities so that as you are there and answering the call when in those times of crisis, that you have every resource and every bit of support at your backs as well from this great city. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you for your leadership. I am so honored to celebrate you today. And I believe I get to do the honors of administering the oath. Okay, so I'd ask the class to stand, and please raise your right hand. Okay, the first part, you will state your own name. Ready? I state your name. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution and laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And of the City of Boston. That I will bear true faith and allegiance. To the same. That I will serve my patients and the public. With integrity and compassion. and I will afford respect equally to all. I will faithfully and impartially discharge all of the duties and responsibilities required of a City of Boston emergency medical technician to the best of my abilities. I do so affirm on this 16th day of May in the year 2022. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Wu. Thank you very much as well. And, okay, we'll now start with the badge presentations. I would like now to invite Superintendent Jack Pearsall to the podium to assist with the presentation of the badges. I'd also like to ask Captain Naomi Waters to assist with the presentation of certificates. When Superintendent Pearsall calls your name, please join us on the stage.
Thank you, Chief Hooley. For those who are going to be accompanying the graduates, you can please walk to the walkway there, and you can greet them and walk up to the stage. Caitlin Bonfilio, pinned by our father, Stephen Bonfilio. Teachers, Johnson Fox, to be pinned by his wife, correction, sorry. Dendron Cardozo, pinned by his father, Domingo Dos Santos. Demetrius Johnson Fox, to be pinned by his wife, Bailey Thompson Fox. going to Colorado to be pinned by his grandmother, Mary Untitled. Jones, Tristan was never dependent on his girlfriend, Olivia Patterson. Morales. getting ready to pick on our sister, Freedom Paramedic Christine.
Control your nut.
Thank you, Superintendent Pearsall. Great job. Congratulations, everybody. These former recruits, can't call it. The other recruits, they're former recruits. Okay? They were asked to nominate a class speaker who best exemplifies the enthusiasm, focus, teamwork, perseverance, and what it takes to be successful in this academy and as a member of our department. They selected EMT David Ramos.
Good afternoon. First off, I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank the City Academy through the Mayor's Office of Workforce Development for providing me with this wonderful opportunity to become an EMT. And I'd like to thank the Recruit Academy for the skills and knowledge that you gave us during this process. I appreciate the captains and the lead training officers, or as we call them, the LFTOs. Thank you for your patience and for dedicating yourselves to us during this time. We appreciate you for coming in early and staying late to make sure we really understood what it means and what it takes to be a Boston EMS EMT. I'd also like to thank everyone's family, friends, support systems. Thank you all for your continued support. And a special thank you to my wife. No one else understands how much work we really put in with all of you, so thank you very much. Now, I'd like to direct my attention to the most important people in the room today, my fellow recruits. Thank you for going on this journey with me, giving it your best and keeping me on my toes. Without you raising the bar every day, I wouldn't be here graduating with you today. We all have different reasons for why we chose to sign up for public service, and it's important for us to keep it in mind and keep in mind that there are a lot of people who will depend on us daily to help them through their toughest days. We should embrace that opportunity and treat them with the compassion and empathy that we would want to receive. Now, our mission, the mission of Boston EMS is, Boston EMS is committed to compassionately delivering excellent pre-hospital care and to protecting the safety and health of the public. Let's honor our mission and serve our communities, families, friends, and loved ones with care and respect on every call. Throughout this entire process, as we prepared to become excellent clinicians, we built and strengthened relationships that pushed us to get better and better each day. We joked, laughed, and cried together. But more importantly, we held each other accountable and made sure that we all leveled up together. I hope that we can continue supporting each other as we go out into the city to support our neighborhoods. I'm confident that we will all continue to rise to the occasion and meet the moment, as we've done over the last several months. Thanks to the skills we learned and fine-tuned during the academy, I know that we'll be well prepared and ready for each and every emergency. Now, I have one final note or a reflection that I wanted to leave you with. Hey, recruit is a phrase that we've gotten so used to hearing over the past few months that even when you know someone isn't calling you, you look just in case. Hey, recruit, you're great, you're awesome, and you're miles ahead of where you were October 25th of last year. Hey, recruit, you've done a great job and your hard work was worth it. The staying after class to practice skills and the long nights of studying and memorizing have and will continue to pay off. Hey, recruit, I've been learning from each and every one of you since day one. Watching how hard you worked inspired me to work even harder. Thank you for not quitting even when it felt like the best option, and for providing words of encouragement to keep me coming back the next day. Hey, recruit, next time someone's looking for an adult, they're looking for you. Hey, recruit is a phrase you no longer have to listen for. So, next time you hear, hey, recruit, they're not talking to you, but remember what it felt like to be in their shoes and give them what you needed when you were a recruit. Lastly, I would like to present the Mayor Wu, with this great t-shirt. We wore these every single day with pride.
UT Ramos, that was a great job. The class chose wisely. Congratulations. The nurse is going to pause for the Again, I want to invite Superintendent Joseph O'Hare to join me on the stage to officially mark the transition of recruit class 2021-2 from our academy to their assignment in field operations. We'll log in the class hall at dispatch house.
Good afternoon, congratulations, and welcome to Field Operations. If you worked here more than 10 minutes, you know I have too. So you started 6 months ago as a group of individuals, and in that intervening time, you've now become Class 2021-2. Which I hope you will always keep. in the back of your mind. All right, you will always be a part of that group. So this is our tradition here to welcome you to field operations. We will log you on with dispatch operations. Calls don't wait, sometimes we do. Boston, C3 calling. Boston from C3, request to make a brief announcement. Boston from C3, would you please log on the graduates of recruit class 2021-2. They have completed their assignment at the Academy and are now assigned to field operations at Boston EMS, and we wish them good luck and Godspeed.
Roger that. Congratulations and welcome to the Department Academy Class 2021-2.
Thank you, Joe. Well, congratulations to Academy Class 21-2. Please all rise for the retiring of the colors. I also just wanted my thanks to the Honor Guard, who it's obvious this is a great occasion to have them available. Sometimes their work is at sad memorials or assisting other agencies in the time of loss. It's always great to have them for an award ceremony or promotional or a recruit graduation. That's the best time to enjoy them. So thank you, members of the Honor Guard. And thank you all for joining us here today. Boston EMS wants to extend our appreciation to the Great Hall for hosting us in this historic landmark. And we ask that a lot of the photos can be taken outside, including a class photo afterwards. This concludes our ceremony today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you all for joining us.